Welcome back everyone. In this video we're going to talk about how to draw a Hex Knot. We're going to cover several new commands and review on previously covered commands for drawing and modifying entities in AutoCAD. So since we're going to develop different views of the knot, we're going to have a little talk about how to draw multiview of an object, what is a third angle projection, and how to utilize commands in AutoCAD to draw multi-view of a hex knot. And of course we're going to review on layers and different line types, for instance center line and hidden lines. If you're new to this channel, if you're new to AutoCAD, feel free to check my playlist, AutoCAD Intro, where I'll take you from the very basics in AutoCAD to the advanced topics like how to create a custom title block with a company logo, how to prepare a printout with the right scale using viewports. Orthogonal projection has a set of standards you can use to develop multi-view of a physical object. In this example, we are using a first angle method. There's another method, first angle, that's normally used in ISO standard, but third angle is normally used in ANSI standard. So for this tutorial, we're going to use third angle. In third angle, if you assume this is the front view, the top view is developed as if you're looking from the top of the front view, and you put the view at the top of the front. And again, similar to that, the right side view will be placed on the right side of the front view and will be developed as if you're looking from the right side. If this is your front, if you look from the right, what you see, you draw it and you put on the right side. Again, for top view, if this is your front, you look from top, what you see, you put at the top. Okay, so that's called third angle projection system. So for this particular example, I've got a set of dimensions for this hex knot, and hex knots are not the same, so you might have different features at the bottom, chamfer also at the bottom and so forth, but this is a very typical. So the dimensions are given in fraction, and this is they call this 1 inch hex knot. So by 1 inch it means the diameter of the thread, the OD or other diameter of the thread is 1 inch. So if you go to the market, you ask for 1 inch hex knot, so they're gonna give you this, and 1 inch is the outer diameter of the thread for this hex knot. So also to identify the thread, you need to know how many threads per inch exist. So in this case, there are 8 threads per inch, and also the thread type is national course, and there's 1, 2, 3, and this is type 3. That has to do with the accuracy and how tight the threads will be. Normally 3 is used for better fitting between the bolt and the knots. And this is right-handed thread, so you can have left-handed versus right-handed thread. And it kind of give you a notation up here how to prepare the hole before threading. So drill it with this drill bit, and bore it with this boring tool, and then you can thread it with this tapping tool. So it's a number 1 hexagon knot, and this is a stock size. Again, a lot of notation for manufacturing this. So we're going to use most of these. Online, there are websites like engineeringedge.com where you can find standard dimensions for different type of knots in inch versus metric. If For this drawing, we're going to use a template I'm going to provide you in the description below this video. And we're going to use the NC inch template. So let's go to AutoCAD. And okay, so this is a drawing. We're going to start off with drawing this hexagon. The flat to flat dimension is 1/9/16, and so this is actually the diameter of the circle. Okay, so this hexagon is circumscribed about the circle, and the circle diameter is this. Okay, so let's go ahead and delete that. And I've already opened this template NC inch. I'm gonna go ahead and save this as let's say Hex Knot, let's say version 2. And I'm gonna change the file type to drawing 2010 DWG. Okay, and if you start off with this template, you're gonna have a lot of layers. So visible line is fine. I'm gonna just type here Polygon. That's the command we use to draw the hexagon. Enter number of sides. I'm gonna do 6 for hexagon. Specify center of polygon. You can click anywhere. As we explained in the previous video as well, there are 2 ways to draw a hexagon: either inscribed in circle, or the hexagon is circumscribed about circle. In this case, we're going to use this, and it's asking for the radius of the circle inside this. So circle inside this is the diameter of this. The radius would be half of this. So if you convert this, so it's going to be 16 plus 9, so 25/16. So the half of that will be 25/32. So the radius will be 25/32. Okay. The orientation is not correct, so this is the flat and flat. So I'm going to rotate this. Press enter. It's asking for the center. I don't have the center, so why don't we go ahead and draw a circle with 2 points, middle of that and middle of this. My object snap is off. I'm gonna turn it on. 2 point, that quadrant and this quadrant. Okay, now we can go ahead and rotate. Press enter. Center for the center of rotation. Now the angle of each side is 60 degrees, so to rotate this properly we need to rotate it 30 degree, half of 60. Okay, so that's flat and that's flat, and that's what we needed. Next, I'm going to change the layer to center line, go to annotate, grab center mark, and click on the circle. That's what I needed. Okay, right click. After that, we can draw these 2 circles for the threaded hole, and as you see, so the inside circle is going to be the board diameter. Then the rest, the outer circle with should be with hidden lines. It should be 1 inch OD, so that's the outer diameter of the thread, and the thread outer diameter is 1 inch, so that'll be 1 inch, and the diameter of the smaller circle would be the board diameter, 7/8. So let's go ahead and grab circle, center radius, actually center diameter is better. That's the center diameter, 7/8. Let's change the layer to visible. I'm going to change the layer back to visible. That's my current layer. And actually I'm going to change the layer to hidden and draw another circle with center diameter, and OD will be 1 inch. Okay, so that's let's assume this is your front view, so this will be your right side view. let's go ahead and develop that. I know the height of this knot is 1 inch, and so let's go ahead and draw a rectangle for it, and I'm gonna change the layer to viewport. This is the layer that wouldn't print. I'm gonna use it to draw my construction lines. There's a command called ray. You just type ray, press enter. What it does, it draws infinite line along one direction, either any direction you can put. You can press F8 to draw horizontal or vertical, or in this case it's tracking the object snap. Just click there, escape, press enter to repeat the ray command. Make sure it's snapping right there. Okay. And press F8, make sure it's horizontal, and escape. Get out of that. I'm gonna get out of that. Keeps coming back. I'm gonna get out of that. Alright. I want to make sure I clicked in the right location, right there. That's pretty good. So those are my rays. I'm going to draw a line here. Let's say that's distance from the front view to the right side view. And I'm going to offset this. Offset with a distance of 1 inch. Select this to the right side, press enter. I'm going to grab my rectangle. Alright, so that's the outline of the side view. Okay, so I'm going to also project using ray command, project this point, enter, enter again, this point as well, enter. I'm going to project that intersection again, that intersection. Okay. Then change the layer, the center line, draw a line. Do not click here, just get closer and track from there. So from there to here. There's another way to do it. Now that your layer is center line, you can go to annotate, grab center line, click here, click there. That's the center line. That's better. All right. So we're gonna go gradually. Visible line, grab line. That's gonna be for sure a visible line. Press enter. All right. So I'm gonna change the layer and using ray command, project this point, the quadrant of that circle. Okay. And from here, the chamfer is, by standard, there's a chamfer there that's 30 degrees. So I am go ahead and draw a line from this point and press F8 to get out of ortho mode. Okay, so I'm going to draw a line like this. I don't care about the length, but the angle is going to be 90 minus 30. That'll be, so I gotta put 60 there. So tab key, I can switch to that and type 60, press enter. So that's a chamfer with this angle 60 and this angle 30. So that's what I needed. Okay. So next, I can go ahead and trim the extra piece here. Press enter. I can change the layer of that, visible. Also, right now, what I can do, I can draw a construction line here. Okay, so I've got 3 points that I can use to draw an arc. with 3-point arc. 1 point, 2nd point, and 3rd point. Escape. Again. 1 point, 2nd, 3rd. Okay. I can go ahead and trim the extra pieces there. Trim. I need the chamfer to stay. And I can go ahead and trim by pressing enter. Trim that. And I can go ahead and mirror like this. Also pick the arc, press enter. 1st point on mirror line, 2nd point on mirror line, and press no. Okay, I can go ahead and trim the extra pieces here. Okay, so we can develop the rest. There's a chamfer there. There's no specifics about the dimension and all, but I'm gonna keep it flat. So we already learned how to develop this side. Also, as I mentioned, there are a lot of variants for the Hex Knot geometry, the front and back of it. So we can also mirror the top feature to the to create the bottom feature. Okay. So after that, let's go ahead and change the layer to hidden. And I'm gonna try to draw the thread here. So you can either track this point and just draw lines there, or simply scrap there, make sure it's horizontal, grab this point as well, make sure it's horizontal, grab this point, make sure it's horizontal, grab this quadrant, make sure it's horizontal. Okay, you can go ahead and hide your viewport layer and trim the extra pieces here. Yeah, you can go ahead and delete those extra pieces there. Okay, and of course I need to trim that. So this is one way of representing the threads. Of course there are other ways to draw the schematic of the thread, and we know there are 8 threads per inch. We need to know the pitch by calculating that. So but this is also, by standard, this is a correct way of representing a through hole that is tapped all the way. So this is the minor diameter like this, and this is the major diameter of the thread. The top view will be a little different, and we can develop that as well. So let's go ahead and turn on the viewports, and let's draw a line. Let's assume this is the distance between the front and top view. Let's change the layer to construction and change the current layer to viewport. Use ray command to project top point, and of course that edge, of course this point. And we know that to develop multi-view we're gonna need a line here of 45 degrees, so you can go ahead and just type L for line, select this point, press F8 to get out of ortho mode. I don't care about the length. With tab key you can switch to the angle, type 45, press enter. Okay, line, press enter. Let's project this point, make sure it's vertical line. Press enter, grab the intersection, and develop this horizontal line. Let's trim the extra pieces here. Okay. Let's press enter to trim these extra pieces. Make it a little clean. Let's go ahead, change the layer to visible. Draw a rectangle. That's the outline. This edge will be visible as well. We can also project this point. Let's go ahead, change the layer. Let's project this point. Press F8. Press enter. Alright. Let's trim. Press N. Get rid of those. Okay. So in the top view, we're gonna have two arcs. Okay. I can project this point as well. Seems right. That point as well. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you. This is the way it's gonna look like eventually. So as you see, this edge looks like this, and we already found this point, and this point. So let's go ahead and draw that. Let's grab arc. Second, third, press enter. First, second, third. Grab line. Okay. Let's grab hidden layer, line. You can get closer to this and drag. You're actually tracking the quadrant point. Okay. And grab the first intersecting point, and then shift right click will give you perpendicular right there, escape. Let's do the same thing. Do not click, just make sure it's tracking that. Click the first intersection, shift right click, perpendicular right there, enter. We're gonna mirror these two, press enter. First point, second point, no. Okay. We can go ahead, change the layer to center line, annotate, center line, grab this, and grab this. So that's your center line. Okay. Let's see. Well, that's pretty much it. That's what I want to cover in this drawing. So what you can do eventually to prepare this for printout, you can go ahead and turn off your viewport layer, go to the layout. A title block is ready for you. You can double click and change the scale, change the name, and so forth. Double click inside the viewport. Make sure your scale is 1:1. You can use this 1:1. If you suddenly zoom in, your scale is going to change. Make sure you change it back to 1:1. Double click out, and you can go ahead and print this out. Alright, I hope this was useful for you. If you learned something, you enjoyed it, to support my group, my channel, please go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.